Hi, be welcome to BIS Podcast. In our second episode today, we have the 11th grade students who came to have a very interesting topic with us, a conversation. So I would like Mr. Julian, who is one of their classmates, to give us a little bit of it. What are we going to talk about?
Okay, so today we're going to talk about what is a peace culture and what we can do to build that and some consequences of not having that in a society.
Oh, peace culture. It sounds a little bit interesting, but at the same time confusing. Isabella, what do we mean by peace culture? What's that? How can you define that?
Well, a peace culture, we know that culture refers to traditions and values.
Okay.
So a peace culture would be a non-violent culture where we work out and solve conflicts and with a respectful attitude, tolerance, and empathy.
So empathy, tolerance, those values that sometimes that are disappearing from our society.
Yeah.
However, you guys as new generations have to try to keep building this peaceful culture in our society. So how can we actually build that? Are there any specific things that we can do? How can we build that?
Okay, so a culture of peace would be it's all about being respectful and mutual understanding with each other because we all think differently. We are different people, so we won't always agree with each other, and sometimes that can take to violence and judgment. So it's all about that, respecting each other's opinion.
Okay.
For example, a simple example would be pineapple pizza.
Okay.
We don't all agree with pineapple on pizza, but
That's
we
true.
respect people that does.
Exactly. So I would like to ask any of you why then it would be important to build a peace culture, because if it's something that will bring tolerance, will bring empathy, is that important? Why?
Yeah, because as Isabella says, promoting the empathy and more like confidence with what we think, we can create a more peace culture in the world. Because Amalia has her own opinion, I have my own opinion, but we both respect what we both think, and we can find a fine line between her opinion and my opinion.
Exactly.
So we all agree, but we disagree at the same time. But everything's fine.
Yeah, and we don't
Exactly. A middle point.
exactly. We don't all have to agree with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I want to mention that sometimes we get confused between tolerance and respect, and sometimes just having fear of not saying what we think, what we consider is true or not, based on judgments, on critics. And we need to know at some point, how do you know when something is peaceful or not? I would like to ask you because sometimes I say, oh, that was my opinion. I need to be frank. I need to say whatever I think is my opinion. I will go and say it. But sometimes there's some manners to say things. We should all always say what we think. That's, free speech. However, how can you differentiate between expressing on a way that is peaceful or not?
Well, I think that the way we can differentiate that is to respect.
Respect.
I think we all need to be taught that respect. I have a lot of rights, but my rights end when yours begin. You need to be treated right, and you need to be respected, and I need to know that you have to be respected, and you have to respect my opinion. So we may not always agree. We have to find a way to have a middle point, and if we can't, that's okay. We can disagree on some sort of things. But at the moment that you start disrespecting others' opinion, you are interrupting that culture piece or that piece on the environment that you are in. So that's what I think about it.
So respecting would be allowing other people to say what they think. Also, it would be not yelling at others, not screaming at them, not using mean words such as in order to make them feel uncomfortable, in order to make them feel, judged. So those are maybe some ways. I would like to also ask you about a recent incident unfortunate incident of a person in the United States that he was having free speech in universities with students, and he had his own thoughts, probably from a political spectrum that was more conservative. However, people had the chance to also give their own thoughts. They had an open microphone to give their opinions too. How do you perceive that incident in which he used to be tough in the way he used to express his opinions, while others also had some points of views? How do you perceive this incident? Was it appropriate or not, the way that he used to express, and the final incident that was unfortunate?
Okay, so Charlie Kirk, like his career as a whole was very complicated, to say the least. Like when he first started out, the incident that first started his career, I don't know if you know this, before the Black Lives Matter movement, post quarantine or like around that time, there was another movement in 2017 because of and because of that, colleges were like shutting down because there was a lot of protests. Charlie Kirk didn't like that. That's how he started making his videos. He started to go out and debate with people. That's how he started his whole career in like 2017. And over time, going back to what you said about if I think how he expressed his views was appropriate, I think that he did things the right way. At the end of the day, people might not agree with what he said, but he never denied anyone the chance to talk. Exactly. He always gave you the chance to get on the other mic and debate him. I think that was a very good thing he did for both sides of the spectrum, whether you're conservative or if you're not. He gave you the chance to speak your mind, and I think that was a very good thing. The way things ended, however, it was not right at all what happened to him. No one deserves to have that happen to them for just speaking their mind. However, part of it was pushed by how he expressed his views, which is why I think the way he did things was right, but the way he went about how he did it was wrong. Like, if I'm debating you and I'm getting frustrated and emotional because I feel like I'm losing the debate, that's like, and I start using harsh words, like that happened to him on a few occasions, things like that can escalate to what we saw happen. And again, I'm not excusing what happened. Like, at the end of the day, shouldn't never happen. No one deserves for their views, but I think that we can take a lot from his career and how it ended and take that for how we can move forward and build a peace culture.
The reality, as you said, violence will never be the last word. We should always, even it's true, sometimes people used to feel very stressed during those debates. They were very energetic. His points of view were his, while others had theirs.
I think that he became mostly viral too because of the themes that he used to talk about, because they were very controversial. I mean, he was a person that used to talk about debating about pancakes and waffles, but also at the same time he was debating about, I don't know, or really like deep political things.
And migration,
yeah,
and even faith.
Yeah, and even though he expressed his opinion, I think what Julian said, that the way that he was getting emotional and some like answers that he gave in the debate was like they were not really okay. And I think
that's in your opinion, of course.
Yeah. And I think that murder like wasn't the answer, but I think he knew that he was like getting like people mad about the way he used to press, because he was like getting a lot of hate like in the last couple of months.
Always we should say what we think. We should always take care of the words we use, the manner we do it, because as we were mentioning, building a peace culture does not mean to be quiet and not say what you think, but to always try to, you can maintain and be firm on your points. However, always being respectful. Always being respectful.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would like to add something.
Sure.
That, as you were saying, it doesn't mean that for respecting your opinion, it doesn't mean that I have to stay quiet because I think differently. You can always express your opinion without having fear of being judged, because you can express yourself, but it's the way you do it that matters. Because when it comes to threats and violence, how it end up in that situation, that's when respect is lost. And you're basically attacking me for thinking differently than you.
Exactly.
I also like to add
Yes,
that the fact that someone had to in order to like make things. Also says that that person probably didn't have the strong or the ideas or the arguments to debate against him, because like in the moment that you have to surpass that line, it means that you are no longer think you're right, or you don't know how to respect and like express your ideas correctly. So to me, the act of violence that happened is like something we cannot let pass like that, because since the moment you break the line, like everything's gonna be over. It doesn't matter if it's just an insult or if it's something more. Like in the moment you break into others' rights, you are doing wrong.
Okay. And I would like to finish this podcast because unfortunately the time is short. And it's to ask you, how do you personally try to build a peace culture in school or in your family?
Well, at first, we could like listen to the other person, because
Okay.
everything starts by a word. So one talk and the other listen. And the opposite. The first one that talks, now it's time to listen, and the
Vice
other
versa.
to talk.
Okay.
And
So listen.
yeah, listening. Also, like the empathy, because if I listen to you, you listen to me. We both agree in something. We have empathy. Like you put in my shoes, I put in yours.
Okay. What about at home? Amalia, how do you build peace at home?
I think that sharing with my family, like quality time, is very important because we get to, even though we live together, like we have different lives too, we can say, because like, for example, my parents get to work, I'm here at school, we see each other like at 6, but when we share like, which is with each other and about our day, about something that we like, I think we listen and we share like, and we be together is like a really important thing. I also want to say that, for example, in school, that was what Julieta was talking, because this is like a bilingual school and we're in Punta Cana, there's a lot of people from really different cultures and countries.
That's correct.
So like it's really important to have respect and to understand that not all the cultures think the same or have like the same ideals. So it's good to listen and to have like, you have limits that you cannot pass. Because there's, for example, there's a lot of Christian people here, but it's people from different cultures. So it's like the Christians have like a really ideal and the other cultures have another. So it's good to have respect and limits about that kind of stuff.
So you all have mentioned tolerance, respect, empathy, and what else, Emilio?
No, well, I would like to add that to me the base of peace is entirely the respect. If I respect you and you respect me, we have to have problems. Like you can think different and me too, but if we respect each other, we're gonna live in peace. So that's the base for everything. And most of the times that comes from our homes, like from our parents, they pass respect to us. But sometimes we need to learn it in other ways, because it's important to know that it's not always going to be our parents and no one's going to always be respectful with us. So I think that we need also to learn how to respect and how to tolerate that sometimes it can cross the line. It's not good, it's not okay, but if someone crosses the line and we do it, and
You
we do the
still
same,
need to be respectful.
yeah, we all have to maintain that respect.
Well, great, guys.
Wait,
Yes,
I like
tell
to add
us.
something else.
One more answer.
In a community, in school, at home, in the community, always, we are gonna find each other having a disagree with someone about something, whatever, and being peaceful and having that culture of peace we've been talking about. It's like the key for, I personally believe, for a better world, because wars and like all these conflicts that happen are because we lack peace. So when we have a peaceful environment, it's a lot more safer and stronger community. So it's even less stressful for everybody.
So building a peaceful culture is a personal choice, it's a personal decision. And no matter the age we are, no matter the environment we are, we should try to make those decisions every single day by respecting, tolerating others, and having more empathy. Thank you so much for coming to our BIS Podcast. We hope to see you next time.